Hi, I'm CC, and welcome back to the Backyard server. I was recently in my friend Leon's 10 builders vs 1 Axiom user video, and while I was on the side of the builders, it did get me thinking that maybe it was time for me to actually learn how to use Axiom and stop being scared of it. But what the heck is Axiom? Well, it's this. Oh boy, there's so much information to take in. So this is a building tool that basically turns Minecraft into kind of more of a 3D modeling tool than necessarily like a block placing tool, as you can use these options up here and make all sorts of like crazy things. Like for example, you could use this elevation tool up here to do this. We can like raise up like a little mound, or we can use a shape tool to like place down a sphere that we can change diameter of. You can also use this to make some other shapes, like if we get like a cylinder and we just plop that down, we can also like rotate it, and the game actually figures out how it's supposed to look when it's rotated. It is kind of crazy. Like if I do this and then go back into this, like it's we just got big blocks and spheres and stuff, and it is daunting to say the least. So what I want to do today is I want to learn how to use these tools to improve my base on the Backyard server. So back on the Backyard server, look what I can do. Oh. Now I've made a copy of the Backyard world so I can do some playing around and get an idea of what I want to do with my island. But over here, we did our first kind of attempt at terraforming for my iron farm. I had to kind of overdo it because of how I needed to like protect spawns. But round the back, I did a little bit of cliff work, which is nice, but we can definitely do something a little bit fancier with the Axiom mod. So maybe we can do some experimenting around the back for now, just to get a feel for how to use some of these tools. And I don't have any plans for this area just yet. I know this is just the backup of the world, but still, I'm scared. Okay, let's see. Step 1. I need to get rid of some tree... Oh, I've put in the cylinder. Oh no, what have I done? How do I get rid of this? Escape? No? Backspace? There we go. Okay, backspace. Okay, what I want to try and do is I'm going to do a little bit of work on this bit off the island for now. We can come back to the main island. So I want to try setting like a bounding box around like here. Okay, here we go. Fill, no, replace. Aha, here we go. So I can go here, replace spruce with air. Replace. There we go. And bloop. There we go. Okay. Then how do I deselect? No, deselect. No, how do I No. How do I get rid of this? There we go. Ah, stop it! No, stop it! There we go. So I guess let's start playing around with some of the kind of tools I can use. So I can make it go up. Let's hold down right click. So we have this weird like mound that looks terrible. Oh, here we go, lower. Or you can do lower and make it go downwards and have some weird interactions with the water down there. Okay, what else we got? We got slope tool. We could do this and bring the slope. And I don't know what that did. Oh, okay. Pick a spot and drag it down to like here. Let go. No, press it again. You see it's made this weird like plane across the thing? If I just kind of drag along this plane, it will make a slant across that entire bit. That's so weird. So I could just make it like a full-on slant along here. And it just... What the heck? That's so cool! That's kind of nuts. And I believe... Oh, whoa. But one of the options that I'm the most interested in is if I go to the shape tool. So we can have like a really pointy hill shape, place it however we want. But there's also an option here for Metaball, which does this, where it basically makes the cone melt into the shape. So like above the air, it looks like this, and I go over. It's like a water drop. What? That is ridiculous! And I can just press enter at any point, like here. And boom, we now have like an ice cream cone splotted on the floor. And we can do that with any of these shapes. So I can go like a super sphere, get like this, and it's also got the same like squidgy effects. Look at that! That's so bizarre! Oh, hello. Blah. 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 It feels like it's alive. I feel like I shouldn't be touching this. But we can make it just completely flop against the floor and adjust shapes and stuff so easily. And I believe it also works like cylinders as well. Like, look at that! So this is something that 4C showed me, and it is insane. Like, look at this. It's like, it's obviously doesn't look great, but it's like, look how much land we've placed down in like 2 seconds. And then we can go along with all these other tools and we can like clean it up however we choose. And while there definitely is tools we can use to automate like gradients and stuff, this also gives us a lot of potential for just like manually painting. And then if we change the active block to be like deep slate instead, yeah, we can like paint in there and get some like darker shadows. And we just have a fully explorable hill in like a matter of minutes. That is insane. And all we could do is we could just copy this over into the backyard server. Obviously not like just by copy and pasting, it would have to build it by hand. But having something to reference and place elsewhere is very powerful. Let's just say that. So I need to play around with some different ways of making this work and also putting it over to here on the actual island. Oh, I appear to have deleted half of this tree. Whoopsie. So I think the next step is going to be actually applying some of this Axiom stuff to some terraforming around the island. And while I don't have plans for the entire island, on stream yesterday I did think of some ideas to do for this bit here, as we have this kind of cool lake down here that then connects up into like a weird kind of canyon down here. And what I want to try and do is I want to turn this bit here into kind of like a river and rapid situation. And we can have like a little cliffside area here with some houses on top. So what I want to try and do is I think I might raise up the water level, which I believe I can do with a fluid thing. Grab water, you can like... Oh, what have I done? Oh no. I kinda did it. I don't think that's exactly what I wanted. Or I have the option of flood filling, where if I go like here, I can right click there with water, and that fills... Oh, it's filled everything. Oh no! I've raised the water levels around the entire area. Can I undo that? Okay, I can undo that. Good. Oh, what's happened over here? It hasn't undone the cow pen. That's fine. Don't worry about it. But look, what we can do is we can play around with some ideas around this bit. Let's see what happens. And this is what we have now. Oh, it is a big improvement. It just feels so much more natural here. I could probably push this a bit further. I think like I definitely held back in some parts, but part of that is because I don't fully know what buildings and stuff are going to go around here. And I'd like to terraform around the buildings a bit once we get those in. But for now, I think this is a really good place to start, and it gives me something a lot better to work with on the actual server. So now I need to go about actually building it over there. And I think that we're going to do that is with Lightmatica. So back here on Backyard, we have the original look of this, and it feels wrong almost. But if I just press M and R, we can see the schematic of what it's going to be turned into. And I've made 2 versions of the schematic, one that is air and then one that is water, so I can kind of get an idea for both without having to deal with like there being a bunch of water in here as well. So I guess the next step is actually starting to place in some of these blocks, and that's... Oh, that is real. Okay. I can't tell what's real and what's not. So I guess let's get into build mode. This is all lovely and now on the yard, but we now need to do one more step, which is to add in the water. And I think I want the water to go up to about here-ish. So I guess let's raise it up by 1 layer at a time. Oh, this is going to be annoying. I feel like I'm doing this wrong. I'm trying to fill this big cave down here, and it's not great. I'm trying to use kelp, but it's awful. Oh no. Oh, we'll get there eventually, I guess. There's definitely a better way of doing this, but brute force wins. This is such a big improvement, even if it was an absolute nightmare. But it goes all the way down into the cave. It's fully wet down here now. It is all sorted. But, ow! I am a big fan of this little area here, but I want to go around it and maybe just do a bit of, like, bone mealing, get in a little bit of seagrass here and there, just to add in a little bit more decoration and stuff around here. And I can also go around with some kelp as well, and just to add a bit of life down here. Okay, we'll see how that looks once it's fully grown, but that is probably where I have to leave it for today. I am very sorry that it is a much shorter episode, but I've been struggling to get this one sorted as I had to start an episode all the way from scratch, and stuff happens. But we are now ready to get on to the next set of projects, as I want to work on some buildings up here next to the rocks, and then also we can work on finishing up this area from the last episode, as I now have an idea of what to do with this big circle, and also a way to get up to the high blues. Haven't tested it, but it's an idea, so we'll get to that at some point. But I hope you all had a lovely time, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Goodbye!